Man, I met these guys just this week, and I've been super excited to get them on. I've got the entire crew from the Tree Cru TV on. They're kind of the new kids on the block, and they are producing some incredible content, and they're shooting some incredible deer, and they're doing it the right way. So I just wanted to get these boys on. They seemed like a fun group of guys. They seemed like they had a lot to share about their journey and their start into doing this. And I just knew they would give a fun conversation, and that's exactly what they did. So we talk about all the things from their beginnings. We talk about their seasons. We share some fun stories. We talk about dream hunts they want to go on. We talk about how you can make a run in the industry and really make a difference and have a footprint in the industry if that's what you want to do. It is a phenomenal episode. These guys are awesome, and I believe you're going to be seeing a lot more of them. This episode is brought to you by my friends over at ScentLock. Guys, you know that there's a lot of companies out there that make incredible gear, a lot of companies that make really good hunting gear. But when it comes to whitetail, controlling your scent is king. And every piece of ScentLock clothing has activated carbon for maximum odor absorption, which makes it perfect for whitetail hunting. And they've got something that I can wear in the 90-degree early season all the way down to the negatives in the late season. So go check out ScentLock. They build really good clothes for hunters. Why? Because they are all hunters. So they're constantly tweaking things, adding pockets, adding features that are perfect for the hunter. That's especially true in the BE1 series, which is the Bow Hunter Elite series. It is an entire toolbox of clothing built for bow hunters by bow hunters, all around making you a more successful, more comfortable whitetail hunter. Go check out ScentLock. Let's jump in with the Tree Crew and talk deer hunting.
For the true sportsman, it's more than a pastime. It's a way of life. Embrace the lifestyle of hunting, fishing, and the thrill of the wild. Live the life. Be typical.
I am proud to announce a new partnership with the incredible guys over at Mod Archery. I got my hands on a mod saw a couple years ago, and I was absolutely blown away. It's incredibly light. It's incredibly powerful. It is hands down the best saw that I've ever used. That being said, when the opportunity came up to work with these guys, I was jumping all over it because I only work with people that I truly believe in. Let me tell you something. I truly believe in this saw. If your arrows aren't dialed, absolutely nothing else matters. And Mod Archery gives you the tools to build better arrows and make every single shot count. Mod Archery is designing and building innovative gear for the modern archer. Now, I'm an arrow junkie. I love building arrows. However, here's what I'll tell you. My last arrow saw that I had, buddy, you had to take that out in the garage, and you couldn't do it when the kids were asleep because it would shake the whole house, and it sounded absolutely ridiculously loud. I was blown away the first time I hit the switch on the mod saw. It didn't shake the table, and it was whisper quiet. I honestly thought there was no ways it was going to cut through my arrows. Thought there's no way this thing is going to cut my arrows good. But I was wrong. That thing is a powerhouse. It's built to work, and it builds really good arrows. Why? Because they have innovatively added you an arrow spinner on the saw, an arrow square on the saw, so you can do it all in one place. If you're not building your own arrows, what are you waiting for? I can't believe the guys who spend the money to go and have a shop cut and fletch their arrows. Because really, if you spend that money twice, you've paid for the saw and you can do it all on your own and spend the time to build better arrows. Guys, you absolutely have to check out Mod Archery and their incredible mod saw. It is an absolute game changer, and I am a firm believer in it. All right, we got the Tree Crew. What's up, gentlemen?
How's it doing?
You know, it's pretty good. It's what is it? December 19th? December 18th. Late season whitetails. Are you guys all tagged out? Or are you still hunting?
Oh, we're still hunting.
Good.
We're actually out tonight.
Good. People shouldn't even start hunting until now. This is the best time of year. This is when it gets good. This is when big bucks are easy to kill. I say easy, relatively easy. Gentlemen, before we jump into all that, give us introductions to yourselves.
Yeah, I'll go first. Shea McTie. I'm from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Me, Jake, and Nick. Jake and Nick are cousins, but me and Jake grew up since we were little kids. So me and him know each other since we were like 8 years old. So it's pretty crazy.
Very cool.
But been a dream of ours to just get this started. So it's cool.
Awesome.
And I'm Jake. Like Shea said, we met when we were little, and Nick and I were cousins, so we grew up together. We live 5 hours apart. I'm from Pittsburgh, and he's from Dayton. So, as when we were younger, we couldn't always hunt together. We would always talk about it over the landline. And here we are. Now we're adults, and we can make adult decisions like drive 5 hours and hunt together.
Yeah. You said you were cousins. What happened?
Still are cousins. Yeah, unfortunately.
I was wondering which one of you disowned the other one. That's what I was curious about.
He shot my butt.
Yeah. Bad terms. My name's Nick Narker. I'm from Dayton, Ohio area. I met Shea through Jake. And we've been hunting buddies forever.
Yeah.
Very cool. Well, I'm excited to get into kind of how all this started. Old Steve-O DiMarino over at Scentlock said you got to get these boys on, and Steve's only led me astray once, but we're not here to talk about Nate Hosey. I'm just kidding.
Nate's
no. When Steve tells me that somebody's worth having on, that means they're worth having on. So I'm excited to get you boys on. Excited to talk hunting and just kind of learn about Tree Cru. When did Tree Cru kind of come to be?
So probably about 5 or 6 years ago, I was actually out here in Dayton at Nick's house. And, we always grew up watching hunt shows, all three of us actually as kids. And, it's always been a dream of ours, but it's kind of been one of those dreams that you can just imagine, and you don't ever think it could be reality. And I remember, kind of presenting the idea to Nick at one point, and I was like, hey, we should do this. We talked about it. Again, we live 5 hours apart, so we knew it was going to be hard. Ended up going back home, and at this time, Shea and I really started hunting hard together. And I brought the idea up to him and started running around with iPhones and all that. And that's when we started calling ourselves Tree Cru. We didn't really know what we were doing, but it's been a few years to, figure out the cameras and editing and all that.
I think 2021, Jake, it was a little bit before that, but 2021 is whenever the YouTube channel was established. That's whenever I was like, hey, let me go in and make a YouTube channel. Let's try to make something. And it took all the way until, like Jake was about to say, I moved to Iowa, and we can get into this a little bit later, but I was an intern for Midwest Whitetail. I lived with Josh Sparks for a year, and I filmed Caleb Griner and ended up producing 40 something episodes for them and on the blog series, and came back home. And that's when we were like, all right, this is what we got to buy. This is what we got to be prepared for. And let's get into it. And this year we have our first 2 YouTube videos out, and man, they're crushed. It's doing great. So
I looked at the numbers before we jumped on, and I mean, that's insane, guys. You guys are, and that's what I tell everybody. If you put out good quality content, people enjoy it. And I'm not saying you have to produce a film. I'm not saying you have to be the next Jason Matzinger, but when you put out good quality content, people notice it. And that's, content is not my thing. I'm not a content guy, mainly because I don't like to do it. But when you do that, and, I heard in depth, I heard a podcast one time of all these well-known hunters talking, and they talk about people wanting to get in the industry and people wanting to make a run at this, and they went on this spiel about if you'll just take time, even with an iPhone, if you'll just take time, clean up the deer, make sure the picture looks good, and take that photo, you'll start getting noticed for that stuff. And I'll never forget like how crushed I was, dude. Like I was already in the industry and you guys are work with Bear, right?
Correct.
Yes, sir.
Awesome. Well, I was already hosting the Bear Archery podcast. I did that for 6 years.
That's cool.
And so I was hosting their podcast and I kill just a great buck, man. I was pumped. And I took what I thought to be great photos and I sent them over to the marketing director at the time. They're through 5 or 6 of them now. But the marketing director at the time, and like, I was so excited, man. Like this was my first season hunting, having worked for Bear. And so I was like pumped, to get these photos out. And the response was, I can't use them. And I was like, what do you mean, dude? What do you mean you can't use them? And he was like, the tongue's hanging out. It's bloody. It's gory. Like the photo itself is good, but you didn't represent the deer well. And I'm like, dude, you gotta be kidding me. Like we're hunters. There's blood, but it reiterated what I had heard those guys talking about. If you'll take the time to clean it up, to make it look respectable, to take a good, clean photo of the animal, people will notice, and it goes a long ways. So I say all that to say, like, you guys are absolutely crushing the content side of things. I would not think, like, just looking at your content, I don't immediately think like, oh, these guys are new on the block. It looks like you guys have been doing it for decades. And so kudos to you guys, man. I admire those guys. I admire people who can put out good quality content and continually do it. Cause it's something that's, it's hard to do and it takes a lot of effort.
I appreciate that, man.
Yeah, it takes a lot of time. I mean, very thankful for Shea to go out and do that intern. While he was out there, he was calling us and telling us, what kind of camera gear we needed. We had no clue. I mean, we started with iPhones and, the next thing we thought we should invest into is like the $1,000 camcorder, which we realized at that point, like the iPhones were, just as good. So, we started investing the money into it and, he was investing the time editing and all that. And then we kind of realized like, when you go out to hunt, you got to take those extra, it might be an hour, it might be 2-3 hours, but, go out of your way to get those shots that everyone wants to see. You got to almost paint the picture to how you want to portray the story.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, absolutely. And that's what, like, I had Matzinger on to talk about his selective film. And, he was talking about like, when you go into this, you've got shot lists. It's not like as we're hunting, we're just like, oh, get a video of that. Like we've got shot lists and we've got things like we've got to mark this off. We've got to get videos of this. And you're going into this with the mindset of like producing a video. So now not only you're trying to outsmart the animals and survive on the mountain, you've got this shot list of producing a film. And I'm like, yeah, see, not for me. And I honestly, guys, like I tried the TV thing and I hated every second of it, dude. Like it was horrendous. And that's actually, that's what led me into the Bear Archery podcast. I was hosting a TV show at the time for Mossy Oak and, it became pretty apparent to them that I was not built for TV, because I would, it was all the time. It was like, dude, great deer, man. Where's the footage? I'm like, camera guy couldn't get on him, but I let her eat anyways, like I wasn't waiting. So it was like all the time, like, where's the video? I'm like, it's too dark for camera light. Sorry, didn't get it. Like, you're not supposed to shoot then. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing that. So I was like, I'll just talk about it afterwards on a podcast. That's what I'll do.
Filming's one thing. And like, I know that Jake and Nick know this too very well, but like when it turns into like, we all, we go into the year and we're like, dude, we're going to kill this. We'll film this buck. And then the year starts and it's like, well, my buck's showing up, your buck's showing up, and your buck's showing up in Ohio. So it turns into self-filming very quickly from the whole, like, let's get this whole storyline. And then it turns into the crap show where you're like, holy crap. Like, I got to lug this camera in the tree. I'm sitting in my car, half asleep, driving a hunting spot. I'm like, oh my gosh, I got to do this interview. Hey, you know what I mean? You're sitting there. It's like the little things, man. It adds up. And like you said, it just turns into like a shot list. You're sitting there like, oh, I'll do the opening interview. I want to get that. I want to get that red light of me walking in. I want to get every shot I can to show what I'm doing, to show every part of the story, basically. And after a while, man, it hits November. You're like, this is like about the 30th time I've walked in the woods with a red light. Like, I get it. Yeah. Like, geez. And I know Nick and Jake both understand that, but yeah, it's definitely been a journey, but you get to see it on YouTube and you see the people that appreciate it and the views and it come to life and the whole story. And you're like, you know what? That is pretty fun filming all that crap. So it makes you feel better about it. But
yeah, I mean, it is definitely very rewarding when it comes together. And I mean, it is cool to be able to show, you know, to not just tell the story, but say, well, like, hey, we want to watch it. Like, and you know, those days were cool, you know, to come home and, you know, at those times, well, my son wasn't even born yet when I was filming the show, but my two daughters, like, to show them, like, you know, you get home and you just plug the camera right in the TV and show them, and like, they're just blown away by the redbirds and the squirrels that you're filming while you're sitting there. And they just think it's the coolest thing ever. And, you know, for the first time, it's like, oh, dad's not just out there like hanging out, like he's actually hunting. So it is cool to show them. But again, it is a lot of work, man. And so hats off to you guys for doing it and doing it really, really well. For sure. Now, are you guys doing this gig full time? I mean, do you got what's your jobs like? What's your day-to-day like?
So this is not full time. This is, I guess, a part-time job that is really a full-time job on top of our full-time job. That's what we come to learn. You know, you're always going to be tired. You know, you go from a full-time job, leave from that, run right into the woods, and, you know, you're filming till dark. Then you're on your computer, whether it's editing or transferring footage, you know, through the night. And then plus all the other stuff, you know, when you're trying to turn it into a business, you know, you're on phone calls with different companies, you know, trying to work with different people and whatnot, which has been a pretty fun learning process. You know, it's not something that I'm really used to. I have a excavation business, so I'm always out digging dirt and stuff like that. This is completely not what I'm used to. It's just something I always wanted to do. Yeah.
Very cool. What about you other two?
Yeah. These guys are both kind of, I guess, self-employed in the sense they, you know, obviously they're busy with work, but they kind of have a little bit more flexibility with their schedule. I have, you know, a corporate job where I get 10 days vacation. So I've got to really use those wisely. I think I'm going to be transitioning in the spring into something that I'm going to have some more flexibility, just to open it up to, you know, try to give this a run, because I know that if I don't, I'll look back on it and wish that I did. So, yeah, I think that's my plan.
So what you just said is you have a real job and they don't.
Not necessarily, because I mean,
we don't have anyone to tell us what we can and can't do. You know,
I say that all the time. You know, my buddies are like, oh man, I wish I got to hunt all the time. And I'm like, you guys do know I have a job. Like it might not be a real job, but I have one. Like,
yeah. It's kind of like, actually just this year. Well, so keep it shorter. My father has a company, and I've been working with him for the past 3 years. Very like just marketing on the side, just helping him out with Instagram and Facebook ads and small things. While I was even in Iowa, and it was just very small things just to help him out. He always wanted to kind of start an Instagram for his company. So I told him I'd always help him out with that. But after I moved home from Iowa and had everything I needed to know to edit and film, I was like, you know what? It's a good time to start a media company. I really always wanted to start a media company, but I always, like I told Jake and Nick, I was like, we can't do this until I know. Like, I don't want to make YouTube videos that are half-assed. Like, I want them to be badass.
Yeah.
Like, I want them to be cool, man. Like, so I got back and I'm like, you know what? Like, I might as well, like, well, I'm here and I could do all this. Like, I'm going to start a media company instead of just jumping. You know, there's opportunities to work with my dad. And I was like, I can do that on the side here and there, but I want to start this media company, pursue my dream. And that's kind of what happened. I got out, I filmed Nate Hosey, Randy a little bit, did some stuff with Headhunters. And I mean, the list goes on. There's a few other companies I worked with down the line. And it just got to the point where I was like, you know what? I can do my media stuff a little bit on the side. I want to kind of work more for my dad. So right now I am working more for my dad, but my media job kind of keeps me open. So I'm still doing some editing for some other companies and other people that we work with. So I'm kind of part-time for my father, part-time with a media company. So they are right. It definitely opens up my schedule more for me to be able to be like, hey, I'm going to hit the woods today, tomorrow. You know what I mean? As long as I'm still getting done what needs to be accomplished. But it's nice to have that open schedule. And I'm thankful for that for Midwest Whitetail and that whole internship, because I wouldn't have learned any of this media crap if it wasn't for that. So got home, bought the cameras and all the equipment, and kind of just took off from there. So it's been pretty good. And I've met a ton of people through it, man. So thankful for that.
Yeah. That's cool, man. And that's, that, and I am blessed because, man, my boss at Pope and Young, like, it's funny because the other day he called me and he's like, dude, I need this done by the end of the day. And I'm like, oh, bro. I'm like, dude, we had a cold front. Like, I'm already headed to my stand. And he's like, oh, yeah, that's more important. Like, go kill the buck. We'll take care of this later. I'm like, you just said it had to be done by the end of the day. He's like, well, I meant like if you're not hunting. Like, and I'm like, all right, cool. And so, but no, I asked that because, I get that question all the time of like, man, how do I make it in the industry? And I'm like, dude, just think and grind. Like, just like get off work and then get off work and go out and start, shooting your bow and videoing it and doing product reviews and doing informational videos and doing tips and trick video, like just anything. Find what you enjoy doing, find what avenue you want to go down and do it. And then just grind at it, man. And so I love that you guys are just like, just out there doing it, man. And yeah, it takes a lot of work and, you're spending more money than you're making. I can promise you that. Like the quickest way to make $1 million in the outdoor industry, you guys know how to do it?
You don't
Spend 2?
Yeah, spend 2 million. Yep. Start with 2 million and you'll make $1 million pretty quick. But no, it really like that. That's the answer. It's just like, and so if you're listening to this, you're like, man, I'd like to make a run at this, whether it's, writing articles or taking photos or doing videos or starting a podcast, like you just got to grind. Like, it is 8:05 where I'm at, 9:05 where you guys are at PM. And we're out recording. I mean, that's what it takes. That's what you got to do. And, this is y'all's fault. I don't like doing late night podcasts because I'm old. You guys are young and ready to stay up. It's already my bedtime, boys.
Oh, like, I believe it.
I don't suck down a Mountain Ops at Ignite at 7 p.m. often, but I had to tonight. No, it's better than than early mornings. I'll tell you that.
Back to what you were saying a little bit about the grind. Like, it's just funny. Like, it's nice, man. Just being like, we're young and determined right now. So it's like shit. Like right before this, we got on the call with you. I was literally editing. Jake calls me. He's like, is that the tiger video? That's the video that's going to be coming out next on the channel. And I was just touching some things up, adding some things to it. And then you're like, oh, we can bump it up. I'm like, oh yeah, let's get on the podcast. Like I just got home from work and was already hopping on the new video we're trying to get done. It's just like right after you get done with help my dad, straight to the Tree Cru stuff, man. We're trying to pump out content as quick as we can. So yeah, it's crazy. Like never ends. Like you said, it's a grind. That's for sure.
Sorry to change things around on you boys. Yeah. I've got a rule, man. I work from home, from 8 to 5. The kids go to school. Their mom's a teacher at their school. And so I've got a rule. When they get home, I don't work. I put it away and don't work. So people who want to do it in the evening, I'm like, I got to do it after the kids go to bed. Like that's my rule. And so I appreciate you guys being flexible because I really wanted to get you guys on. And then Steve today was like, they'll be at ATA, just do it there. And I'm like, why didn't you tell me that, you ding dong? Like, dang, bro, we're just doing it at 9:00.
This will be our first year ATA.
Yeah, first time there, man.
I'm curious. I'm very curious to see what ATA is going to be like. I don't know. I don't know what you guys have heard or what you're expecting coming into it, but the trend at ATA has been a fast downhill slope.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah, we heard SHOT Show kind of took over.
Yeah, they started an archery hall. And honestly, I don't, I haven't been, I'm actually going to SHOT this year for the first time ever because they have an archery hall, but I've never been to SHOT, but I was told the archery hall kind of took a toll on ATA. But man, also I've been talking with a lot of companies the last few days. I honestly think COVID had a tremendous toll on shows. And people started, and so the argument to that is, well, what about Western Hunt and Wild Sheep and all these that are still really big? I think people just had to figure out where are we going to put all of our eggs? Like, are we going to put all of our eggs in ATA, which is just archery? Are we going to put all of our eggs in Western, which is, everything across the board, or Wild Sheep, which there's more money at Wild Sheep than all the other shows? Like, where are we going to put our money? But COVID took such a big toll on it because these companies were having record-breaking years and they didn't have to spend the $500,000 to go to ATA. Like, they're sitting there going, we've made more money than we ever have, and we didn't put $500,000 into going to ATA. And so I think that's a big deal, man. But I am excited. That's why I say I'm super curious, because this is the first year that ATA is open to the public. So if you're listening to this and you did not know that, you can attend ATA. There are 2 days where it's open to the public for the first time ever. So come out to ATA and hang out. It's going to be a fun time. But yeah, I'm just curious to see what it's going to look like, man. I don't, this is a new year for ATA.
Yeah, we've heard, it's been going downhill, but we're still excited to get out there. It's a time, for us when we go to shows where we could all be together. We get to see all the different companies, the ones we work with and the other ones that we don't, see people in the industry that, we've talked to through social media all year, but never got to put a face to the name. And, it's always a good time, especially just getting out and being around a bunch of people with the same passion.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, you go to NWTF too, man?
No, because turkey hunting's stupid.
Oh, you don't like turkey? I mean, hey, we're not. I love turkey hunting, but I know we're not the biggest turkey hunters. Trust me.
That's why me and Nate Hosey almost fist fought on the podcast, because I
you told him you don't like.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, don't be so sensitive. I hunted with
Nate Hosey this year. I filmed Hunter Wallace, actually. So me and Hunter Wallace are really close. So you can only imagine him and Nate are about the same. Yeah. They're ate up with turkey hunting, man. And not to say I'm not a little bit from learning from them, but heck, it's nothing compared to a big buck. And I'll always say that. So
we were sitting, we were recording in the ATA in the Scentlock booth last year at ATA. And I don't remember what blind company it was, but there was a redneck or one of the, big enclosed box blinds. And when I said how stupid turkey hunting was, Nate's like, dude, let's just go into that box blind and see who comes out alive. Like, I'm ready to go in there and throw down. And I'm like, dude, listen, man, I'll fill that blind full of uppercuts, homie. Like, I'm not even afraid of you.
You don't mess with turkey hunters. They're passionate about it.
It's just a bird. Like, it's just a bird. Like, man, that's the most commented thing on that I get on this podcast. Like, if somebody bumps into me, they're like, dude, yeah, turkey hunting sucks. Or they're like, dude, you're an idiot. Turkey hunting's the best. And I'm like, with turkey hunting, there is no in between. It seems like it's either you're all in, you're a turkey hunter, or you're not a turkey hunter.
That's the truth.
I find myself kind of in the middle, honestly. It's hard in the spring because that's like peak time for, digging dirt and all that. But, I get out there. Shea and I I went as a kid. And I'll tell you this because I used to go with my dad. We'd go out in the public land. I remember just sitting down, I thought he knew what he was doing. Apparently he didn't, but
yeah, my dad was a terrible turkey hunter. I
think that's why I really didn't like it as a kid. We'd sit there. We would be like 2 hours. He'd make some calls, wouldn't hear anything. And we'd finally hear a turkey like forever away. And he's like, all right, let's hold put. And I'm like, hold put? I'm like, let's go after this thing.
That bird's 3 counties over, Dad.
I know.
And it's another hunter. I can see him over there.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, probably.
So from then, again, I was probably 5 or 6. From then all the way up till, I don't know, after sometime like 2020 or something like that. I never turkey hunted and Shea never did either. And so we all of a sudden just picked up one day. We're like, yeah, let's go turkey hunt. People are out there doing it. We gave it hell.
We're out there scratching the box.
I'm sure if any turkey hunter watched us, they would be shaking their head. Like, turkey hunter. But, we have some really good friends that are very talented turkey hunters, and they kind of taught us, especially, Shea and I provide the spots. Our buddies are good at it. We provide the spots. We take them out. They'll teach us things. We can kill a turkey by ourselves now, but, it took a little bit to actually.
Every once in a while.
It turns into a joke. Turkey hunting's more of a game. Like, it's more for fun. Like, I feel like every time we're out turkey hunting, it turns into like, all right, let's kill this turkey. Then we're just sitting there
because if you mess up, you're like, oh, it was just a bird. Like, I got you.
Go to the next spot with another one.
Yeah. No, turkey hunters though, like, and I know guys who, go to stinking 12 states a year and turkey hunting. I'm like, guys, I don't care if you're in Kansas, Nebraska, Florida, it's a bird. Like, there's no difference. Yeah. It's a bird. Dude, my biggest thing with it, I absolutely love bear hunting. Bear hunting is my favorite thing on planet Earth. And so
I saw you killed a few bears on your social media. I saw you've killed a few good ones.
Yeah, we had a great spring, man. I shot one in Canada, Idaho. My
my
wife
God.
shot one in Idaho. But
Man,
what was so cool was the bear I shot in Idaho. I had my boy with me. He was 6 at the time. And we get to the tree stand. I'm like, oh, it's a little like, I don't want him sitting up there for 2 hours. Like, it's a little high for a 6-year-old. And so I'm like, dude, let's just like pack in behind this little dirt berm and we'll just chill out. And so like we're ground level with these bears. I've got a 6-year-old and I'm like, all right, son, if I tell you that there's a bear, like just crawl up the dirt and like just poke your head up. Like, don't stand up. Don't like just. And I honestly, dude, I was like, there's no way we're killing a bear. Like I had already told my wife, like, listen, he's going to have to sit with you like tomorrow, cause there's no way he's going to kill a bear at this spot. And, sure enough, dude, night one, I'm like, Tucker, here comes a bear, dude. And he did it perfect, man. Crawled up and looked at that bear. And I said, I can't tell if he's that big. And he's like, oh, he's big. Shoot him. And I'm like, you got it, bud. And then, so like now that we're done, like I just put him I put him at camp with my buddies. And so this was night 2 and kind of same deal with my wife. Like we get to the tree stand and I'm like, oh, it's 26 yards. Like I've not practiced pin gapping with you, not practiced holding high or holding low. Like I've not really done that. And so I'm like, let's just brush in a little spot at 20 yards. That way I just know, top pin, hold it right on. And so we just sit behind some sticks and my wife shoots a gorgeous big old bear on the ground behind some sticks. And so we had a great spring, man. And so you have that spring and you're like, why would I go bird hunting to shoot a bird when I can go shoot a bear? Like big difference,
So we do a lot of bear hunting PA.
Dude.
Of course
Nothing
we see
like
all
what
the
you're
bears.
doing.
No, I was gonna say we see the bears out of bear season, but
Yeah.
2 summers ago, Shea came with me. I took my dad on a bear hunt in Canada, New Brunswick, and it was cool out there. It was real cool. Wasn't really what I'm used to bear hunting. First off, we were sitting over a bait barrel. I've never done that in my life.
It was a new deal. Yeah.
Out in PA, no
We
baiting,
can-
you're in the big woods, or hunting a cornfield or something like that. So it was a big switch. We never saw a bear the whole week, but when you talk about, you'd rather bear hunt than turkey hunt, I think to myself like, yeah, I'd like to go shoot a turkey, maybe 2, just for fun with the friends. But there's other things I'd like to do in the spring, go bear hunt, go shark fishing, bass fishing, catch the spawn. There's a lot of different things out there. And I've realized over the past, year or 2 of putting a lot of time into turkey hunting to get the content and all that stuff, I'm kind of missing out on other opportunities, pursuing other hunts and, fishing and stuff like that.
There's also,
So
man, I live in southern Kansas and grew up in Arkansas. So I can be in pigs in about 3 hours. So again, I'm like, why would I go shoot one bird when I can go down with some thermals and stack bodies, shoot stinking 20 pigs in a weekend, or thermal coyote hunt? Like, why would I go after one bird when I can just stinking cock, lock, and ready to rock and shoot as many as I want, dude? So that's where I'm at on turkeys. People are nuts about it. Now, however, though, Eastern bears are like, man, hunting the mountains is cool. Like Idaho is cool. Montana's cool. My boss lives in Montana. So to have a place to just go and stay and chase bears is cool. I love hunting in the mountains, but if you want to kill a big bear, stinking go to the East, man. Go to Maine, North Carolina, PA.
You killed one out here ever? Have you killed one out here?
Maine. I shot one in Maine. I've never shot one in PA.
Okay.
We have some big
That's
bears.
sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, none of my friends in PA are good enough to invite me though. It's always like, oh, we've got great bears, and I'm like, I love to bear hunt. And they're like, yeah, well, we've got great ones. I'm like, well, I love to bear hunt. Yeah, man, we got great big ones. And I'm like, I love to bear hunt.
Teasing you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I looked into it a little while ago. I mean, we see some 700 pounders get shot in the last few years, which is huge for a black bear.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, one got shot 40 minutes from Pittsburgh this year, 718 pounds, 40 minutes from the city of Pittsburgh. Like,
I think the state record was high 700s, maybe low 800, but it was actually not far from my camp. So, up there, we've always seen big bears, and it's huge. I mean, you'll see just groups every single year of guys with trucks doing these huge bear drives. We usually just, make friends as we go and hop in and have fun, explore new land. And of course, we're always the young guys, so we're the ones pushing for everybody. But you have just as much fun. You probably also have just as good as a shot shooting one, pushing the bear rather than sitting.
I had to check, and but Wisconsin has the most Boone and Crockett black bear entries.
Really?
Seriously.
Yep, Wisconsin.
That's kind of badass.
Which again, you hear that and you're like, you don't think Wisconsin, like when you're thinking, I'm going to go shoot bears. PA's number 2 for Boone and Crockett entries. Okay. North Carolina's 3, New Jersey. So basically the
What's
top
a Boone
4.
and Crockett bear? Sorry, if you mind me asking. What is it? How do they score that?
How do they score it?
Yeah, how do they score? What is a Boone and Crockett bear? Like, what makes it up?
Length and width of the skull. And Boone and Crockett's 20 inches, I believe.
Okay.
So
20 inches long, right?
It's length and width added together.
Oh,
added together. Okay, cool.
Yeah, 20 inches for black bear is the awards program. 21 inches is all time for Boone and Crockett. 18 is for Pope and Young.
That's pretty neat.
So yeah,
I didn't know
those are all top 4 states are Eastern states.
Interesting.
Awesome. Yeah, I want to get out there. North Carolina is actually my top. Like, there's a lot of bear hunting history in North Carolina. A lot of old, coon hunters and or I'm sorry, not coon hunters, hunting with dogs. Running dogs for bears. There's a lot of history in North Carolina. I've always wanted to go there, but my wife, she wants to go to North Carolina and do like the Nicholas Sparks tour or whatever. So I'm like, that's perfect because you can go on that and I can go shoot bears. Like that's a win-win.
You got to compromise.
But now she likes bear hunting, which is I shouldn't have done that. That was stupid. I even had to bribe her to go. Like, and she picked the worst hunt to go on because this was like back country. Like, we're sleeping in a tent, pooping in a hole. And my wife is the furthest thing. Like, she is a yuppie extreme, dude. Like, she's not an outdoorsy gal. And she's like, I want to go. And I'm like, no, you don't. Like, I promise you don't. And about a week before, like, I'd already bought her tag. I'd already paid the outfitter for her. And then like a week before, she's like, yeah, I don't think I want to go. I just, too much, sleeping outside for a week. And I'm like, you're going because I've paid. And she's like, well, can't you find a buddy to go with you? And I'm like, yeah, but I don't want to cuddle up with a buddy at night. Like, I've already paid for you to go. And so my wife had always wanted a French bulldog. So I said, I'll tell you what, you go on the hunt and you act happy about it and I'll buy you a French bulldog when we get back.
Oh, there you go.
And so again, I'd already shot my bear. And so we're sitting there trying to fill her tag. And so I upped the ante. I said, I'll tell you what, if you shoot a bigger bear than me, I'll get you the Frenchie. So she got a Frenchie. Yeah, it was stupid. All right, gentlemen, let's get into your falls. How's your falls been? Yeah. What kind of deer have we shot?
Shoot, I don't know where to start, man. I had some pretty good luck this year.
I shot the first buck this year.
Well, we know who the bragger is in the group. God, I don't even know where to start, man. I've shot like 9 of them.
Well, it was.
Hey, I wouldn't back anymore.
I lost. I don't have that many fingers.
I wish. No, a better way to put it is what I mean by that is like, shoot, me and Jake probably had. And we hunt the suburbs. So we're hunting the city, around the city of Pittsburgh here. I mean, within 10 miles, out from there, in and out of it, all the surrounding areas. And we had probably, shoot, Jake, how many bucks? I mean, literally 10, you could probably count.
We're gonna start this off by saying we were extremely excited for this season.
And very quickly, it went like that.
Like the first 3 days of the season.
First 30 days, like all the local other hunters on the Pittsburgh Facebook, PA hunting on Facebook, we're just like, oh, there's one of them. Oh, there's another one of them. Oh, there's our other target. Yeah. And I mean, you can't do anything about it when you're hunting a 2-acre patch, 3-acre patch, hoping to catch him cruising, but he hits that other 2-acre patch you couldn't get permission on. And that guy's sitting there, in his tree stand and happens to crack him. So we deal with that a lot. But we came into the year probably really, really confident on at least like, I mean, for this area, at least 5 to 10 150-inch deer for sure. Like that were good deer in this Pittsburgh area. And very quickly it winded down to like 2.
Yeah.
And that's kind of why the buck I even killed, like it's still crazy. I killed him because it wasn't a target deer of mine. I had history with him for a year, and me and Jake did, but it was on a place up against a big 350 acre patch of woods that you could not hunt. No one was allowed to gain access to it. And I had a 2.5 acre patch that happened to border it. And I was like, all right, I'm going to put a camera there, and chances that deer works out of that big patch we know he lives in, because we're seeing him all summer run in there, it's a long shot. Well, what do you know? October 19th, he just came and started blowing scrapes out on her yard, in this lady's yard. She calls me and she said, "Oh, the big buck's here. Holy crap." I'm like, holy crap. He's on my camera, hitting every camera in that yard. And I'm like, oh my gosh. This is like an opportunity I got to make. And I was hunting another deer at the time, and that I had the history with and the storyline for. And that's where the video is going to be different, because, man, I just saw this buck hitting the cameras. I'm like, holy crap, he's back. Went in, I killed him first sit. So, it's not realistic, but I killed him in a 2 acre patch, and I shot him straight out of it. I was in a tree in the lady's yard, and I shot him. He was coming right past the garden at 7:30 in the morning, just trotting again with some does, right through her yard. So
that's cool.
You just can't make it up. Straight city deer. Like I said, that deer could have trotted to the next property, and someone was in a stand there too, because I heard them pull out of their driveway. So he could have walked past me and got to that next guy, and he could have shot him too. So it's luck of the draw a little bit, man. Got to be in the right place at the right time with that stuff.
I was going to say, a hard part about that, though, is, we build these storylines for specific deer, and, it's footage that you'll never see because, deer died, someone else, killed it, Why would we put that footage out? But also on top of that, in Shea's scenario, he's building a story for a deer, and then all of a sudden goes and hunts another deer. So, that footage for that other deer is still out there, Might use that in the future. That deer might have died by now. There's a lot of, I don't want to say over filming, but you're filming everything, and you don't get the opportunity to use it all.
Yeah.
So you never really know how your story's going to come out.
The hard drive's dude, get this crap off this. You're not even in my hard drive.
Figure this out.
Yeah. Filling SD cards left and right, and then you just never use them.
No,
man,
but, it's cool though.
I had a similar season. I had this deer show up, and I'll see if I can find a picture of him. I had this deer show up, and just an absolute stud. And I don't know if you can see that.
Oh yeah, dude. Look at that.
Oh, yeah. Is that a deer or a kicker? Or
it's got a kicker, yeah.
Nice.
And so I put all my effort into this buck, and I was hunting way too hard, and had some close encounters with him 2 different times. One time I pull into my spot, and obviously I'm hunting a complete different kind of layout than you guys were hunting Kansas, where you've got a quarter mile section, and there's only one tree line, so you got to park a half mile away and walk all the way in, and so I pull in the morning, and he's at my tree stand, and I'm like, gosh dang it, if I go in there, I'm just gonna spook. It's flat Kansas, he's gonna see me from 300 yards away. There's no way to get in there. So I'm sitting in my truck for 40 minutes, just keep checking he's still there, keep checking he's still there, and so finally he moves off out of camera view. And so I'm like, all right, he's still in the area. There's hot does. This is middle of the rut. There's hot does there. He's going to stay there. And so I just sneak in, as kind of hunt my way in, and never saw. I didn't spook him out. Never saw him. And dude, this was a rough season for me. And so I'm walking out, set till noonish, and I'm walking out, and there's these 2 old rednecks sitting in my truck when I come out, and I'm like, gosh dang it. The southern property of this, I should say the southern property of this border is Oklahoma. So these bucks can go in and out of Oklahoma. The bucks I shoot could have been in Oklahoma 3 minutes ago.
That's crazy.
And these,
cool.
and I'm talking about definition of not the dudes you want hunting next to, sitting there with a cigarette hanging out of his mouth.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Sitting there with a cigarette hanging out of his mouth. He's like, well, I shot a buck, man. He ran into your property. Mind if we go get him? And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. Middle of the road. We're going to traipse through this property, and you're going to blow everything out of the country. And so I'm like, yeah, Kansas is a right to search state. So even if I say no, they can call the game warden, and he's going to let them go anyways. And so I'm like, yeah, let's go find him. And, I'm helping them blood track this deer, and they're just they won't whisper. And it's he'll yell, hey, Bill, I got blood over here. And I'm like, boys, hey, I want to hunt here again tonight. And tomorrow, let's not be this invasive, And so then I'm like, God, dude, we've blown every deer out of here in the whole stinking country. And so I didn't see that buck for another 2 weeks. Fast forward to the next time I see him, I'm walking into my stand, and I get set my bow, turn, and he had followed me in. Like he heard my steps, you know, again, middle of the rut. So Kansas is the rut is insane. Like you'll see stuff you'll never imagine seeing. And this buck follows me in. And so I sit there and I'm like, gosh, dang it. Like I just hung my bow up and he's standing there at 35 yards and I've got a recurve. So I'm not shooting at 35 yards. And I'm like, you gotta be stinking kidding me. And he just skirts around me, moves around. I'm like, dang it. So all of my efforts are going into this deer. My in-laws, they have a little 5-acre piece out of town. And my father-in-law is the furthest thing from a hunter, which is why he raised the yuppie. And he doesn't know what like a big deer is, you know, like he showed me pictures. I'm like, that's a forky, dude. Like, yeah, it's that thing's half a year old. And he's calling me. He's like, D man, let me tell you something, boy, I got this big old buck, dude. He's been showing up every night in my yard. And I'm like, all right, whatever. And I listened to that for a few weeks and I'm like, dude, I'll put a camera out there. And sure enough, like I get a forky and I'm like, dude, you idiot. Like, look at this buck. Like, you think that's big? He's like, that ain't the one, D. I'm telling you, man, dude, he's big. And I'm like, all right. And then sure enough, a couple nights later, it was a crazy buck. Like he was probably 80 inches on one side, just stinking massive. And then on this side, literally just a little 2-inch fork. And I'm like, what the heck? And so I'm like, you know, I'm just going to go sit out there. I didn't have a tree stand. So I'm like, I'm just going to sit against a tree and see what happens. And I had my recurve, 24 yards, shot him right in the shoulder. Never found him. So at that point, I'm breaking the recurve over my knee, and I'm like, stinking, where's my compound at? Tracked him for 800 yards, never found him. So I haven't killed a buck yet this year. It's been an interesting year. But like you said, I went into this year with that buck on camera, like showing up every day. I'm like, dude, this is going to be a stellar year. And now it sucked.
Yeah, we to talk about, like, none of us have ever been to Kansas, deer hunting, but we all went to North Dakota this year.
I was just gonna say, doesn't that remind you of that? Just the tree lines. That's cool.
Yeah,
just it's kind of similar to where Nick lives. Out in Ohio, just a lot of ag, not a lot of woods, but out in North Dakota, it's way less woods. You got your windrows of trees, that are slowly vanishing. With farmers knocking them down, just get that little bit more room to plant and everything. And we've never done anything like that. But we went out there and, basically the first day Shea and Caleb from Midwest Whitetail, that's now the Flatlander, they were out there before us. And, I think everyone's initial plan was just door knock the private, try to get as much as we can. And, try to just drive around, find bucks before that season started. I think when I got there, I had a full day of prep. But we ended up accumulating like probably somewhere between like 20 and 30,000 acres.
Oh my gosh, so much property. Because once you knock on one farmer, he's like, well, you kill all the deer, dude, on all my farms.
Yeah. They got a lot. And North Dakota is really nice. Like, everyone's super nice, super
great
friendly.
people out there. Yeah, great people.
But Shea ended up, we found some really good bucks. And then Shea,
I got it pulled up already.
I was gonna say, Shea hung, I think it was his first or second camera.
You got to tell the way that guy said it, though. I knocked on this guy's door and he goes, oh, you don't want to hunt here. We had the disease come through. I'm like, oh, yeah. I'm thinking like, yeah, EHD. And he's like, I haven't seen a buck in 5 years. I said, oh, I'm in my head. I'm like, that might be kind of good. Like, there might be one tucked in. Like, he thinks he hasn't seen a buck in 5 years. And I'm like, that might be good. Maybe there's a big one here. If he hasn't, he might just be saying that. He's like, you're more than welcome to hunt. Get after it, hang cameras. You're only here for a week, do what you can. So we hung a camera the first night. We freaked out. I got a 140 on camera. Beautiful, beautiful 10-point. The second night, Jake can explain it like great. I'll pull up this video here.
We're tent camping it.
Oh, tent camping right against the little lake.
Yeah, it's like we're staying on a campground. It's what is it, Labor Day weekend? There's a bunch of families there that, are just under their campers. They got all their kids. Keep in mind, nobody's really waking up, at 4:30 in the morning to go out hunting and whatnot. But, our alarms are going off. We wake up, barely have service to, check our trail cameras. And Shea got a text from one of our buddies that, we let view our cameras. And he's like, dude, what is on your camera? And
before I even checked it, I screamed. I was like, dude, Matt just texted me about this buck. I'm about to open it. Remember, I was like, I haven't opened it yet.
Yep. We're all standing in this tent. It's kind of quiet. We're like waiting for this thing to refresh. It's taking forever. And then all of a sudden this image pops up, which he's going to show you. And we just start losing it. I mean, like yelling, screaming. Keep in mind, it's like 4:00 in the morning.
I'll be honest. I don't know if you boys are dressed at this point, but I'm imagining all you in your skivvies, like standing around one phone, just getting ready for a picture to open.
Yeah, skivvies, pajamas. I got like a
it's an underwear. That's all. I got.
He's got feety. This guy's got footy pajamas on. You can tell.
Oh yes.
I got a tail on
it. Oh my Lord!
This is what I woke up to.
Is that it is a video.
Oh yeah.
Good Lord.
So this thing shows up.
And that's on the property dude said there's no deer on.
Yep. This is on the property he said there's no deer on. Correct.
Oh my gosh.
And then here, let me show one more, Jake. Check this one out, Dylan. We hung 2 cameras there. This is the other camera. Wait for it.
Guys, if you're not watching, if you're listening to this episode, flip over to video and watch this. Oh my goodness.
One more. Here's one of him hard horn. It's just a photo.
Oh.
So to keep it quick, real quick, when we keep talking, this deer ended up getting killed by a local hunter in gun season with broken off points and went 204 with broken points.
Yep.
And Jake can tell him. Jake drove all the way back out there, man. That deer kept hitting my cameras.
Well,
and
I couldn't. So we decided we called this deer Plan A because we're all out there, and basically out there, private that's not posted, you are allowed to hunt. You're not allowed to leave you're not allowed to leave anything in the woods. No trail cams, nothing, unless if you have written permission. Shea has written permission on this parcel. At this point, we're dropping every other deer that we're after. I don't want to say dropping, but kind of losing interest.
It was all in on surrounding this boy. Figure out whatever way he's coming from, and we have to get close to him.
So we did some more knocking. We got all the surrounding properties so we could hang cameras and stuff like that. And keep in mind, it's really just standing corn and a bunch of sloughs. So it's like these ponds with just cattails over your heads. We've never seen anything like this. So we're kind of learning as we go.
You were in pheasant country.
Oh, yes, literally. I'm still getting pheasants every day on my down cameras out there. Pheasant every day coming by.
Oh, I go kill them. They
also, there's a lot of moose. There's moose that's walking through the corn.
Yeah. We got a moose on our camera the other day. Yeah, It's crazy.
So anyways, we hunt hard the rest of that week. Shea came pretty close, which if you want to pull a picture, Shea was walking out with one of our camera guys, and what was it, like 15, 20 minutes later, here comes a deer walking right behind him.
Yeah, right behind me, man. He followed me into the corn pile.
But we had to end up, our trip was coming to an end and we had to get back home and everything. So fast forward, I ended up driving back there. We were there the first week of September, end of August into September. I drove back, I want to say end of September, beginning of October. I wanted to get there before they cut the crops. And this kind of relates to what you're saying about your wife when you took her out, backcountry hunting for bears. Sleeping in a tent, I don't really think anything of it. We're used to, for the longest time, we would just sleep in our trucks wherever we're hunting, try to, save costs. And, you rough it a little bit, but, you're there for, one objective, and that's to hunt. So, it doesn't matter. But I got my buddy who actually works for me. I was like, hey, you want to take off work? Come be my camera guy for the week. And he had 2 questions. His first question,
do I still get paid?
Well, you would think that's one of his questions. How long are we going for? How much am I getting paid?
He just assumed it, huh?
His first question, he's more yuppie. Do I have to go to the bathroom in the woods? And
you don't have to.
That's what I was like. I literally said that. I was like, you don't have to. I was like, there's a gas station, we'll probably go to every other day. And he was like, okay, cool. And then he was like, his other question was not even relatable. And I was like, all right. So keep in mind, this guy's never slept in a tent before. We drive 22 hours. We go out, and I have a big old tent. We set it up, but there was 40-mile-an-hour winds the entire week.
Oh,
and dude, it was rough. We outside of the tent, tied down. I got a bunch of logs. just laid them all around, tied the tent down. I had dumbbells in my truck, just for like midday workout or something. Tied all those down. We put all of our supply bins inside the tent to hold it down. I'm surprised he made it, but he would put his earbuds in his ear every night, listen to music to fall asleep. And like, it was actually not that bad. He made it through. But that deer, we ended up coming close again to getting them then. And I had to get back home. And so we left again, and that deer ended up, dying. And hardhorn, he was like 205.
God. So did you ever see him when you were in the stand or anything? I mean,
no,
I was probably, so here, I'll pull this up real quick. The one night, so I got pretty close to him. The one night I was probably within like 100 yards for sure. And then I bet you the second night I got way too close to him because I was just sitting there and I think he started blowing. Like I could hear. I mean, I was like, I'm going to push.
Between both of us.
Yeah. Yeah. And I was like, I'm going to push in. Like, I'm going to take the risk. We have a day left here and we're going home. Like, I'm going to get tight to where I think this deer's bedding in the standing corn. He's walking this edge, this timber edge, right into this corn pile we had. And I was like, you know what? So this was the day before. This is when I knew I was close to him. So I kind of was like, you know what? So you can see here, I know the time, I don't know how good it will show. That's me walking out. That's him walking in right here. So let me put this in perspective. That bottom video right there is at 9:15 and I'm walking out at 8:50. So this is 9:15. I'm walking out at 8:50. There he's standing there right after I walk out.
God.
Just velvet hanging off him, dude.
Oh,
looking big as ever, straight into the camera, kickers and everything off of him. Just giant.
I'd give up one of my children for a chance at that.
Dude, mega. And to think, like, people, it's crazy to think, like, I just knocked on the guy's door that told me I don't see deer for 5 years. To put out a camera and even have the opportunity to be within 100 yards of a 200-inch deer that we've never seen in our lives. I mean, dude, we'll never forget that. But like, that's probably one of the craziest things that we've ever ran into. And it's crazy. Like, we didn't think that was realistic. Are you kidding me? I would have been happy shooting a 130. I wasn't worried about it out there.
So out there, how it works is it's 1 mile square blocks with roads around it.
Mm-hmm.
And what we've learned from the locals since then, the guy that killed it, his buddy had that deer on trail camera, but his buddy wasn't hunting that deer. He ended up shooting a bigger buck in velvet that had big old club drop tine in the same vicinity as that deer.
Freaking area. So now we're like, yeah, we'll be back next year.
We were talking to another hunter that was hunting on the other side of the road, and he was showing us pictures of like 170 typical 10-point.
So now next year's plans are
that was just like
very lucky for our first time out there.
Yeah.
So now you guys are moving. Now you guys are houses for sale.
Yeah. Well, we still got a bunch of cameras out there, so we all planned on going back this upcoming year, and we're not going to make the drive to go pull them. We'll just go pull our cams or put batteries in them. Pre-hand to this season. We'll probably go out there like 3 weeks early just to kind of see what we can get on camera out there, so we have a better idea rather than just show up and hunt.
That's crazy, man.
Or a shot in the dark, though, it's crazy.
Yeah, drop me a pin on Onyx so I can really see where that's at.
Yeah, I got you.
Got you.
Let me tell you something. When I go on vacation with the family, I hardly ever get a hotel. I want a full house. I want a kitchen. I want a big old bathroom. I want room for the kids to run around and play. I want to be comfortable. I'm able to make my own meals. So I hardly ever get a hotel. I'm always looking for a house to stay in. And the same has spilled over into a hunt. If I'm headed on a hunt, the last thing I want to do is be carrying a bow and be carrying coolers and ice chests through the lobby of a hotel with blood dripping out of the cooler and everybody getting mad at you. Nobody wants that. So find you a place to stay on the new Hunt B&B. Full houses, comfortable houses, all the room you need with a back porch you can sit on and drink some coffee. These properties are well placed next to incredible hunting opportunities. So it's not only a great tool if you know that you're going to a certain public piece of ground and you're going to hunt on it, you can look for a property close to that. This is also a great resource to find new pieces of public ground to hunt on. Go on there and look at all the cabins. And when you look at the listing, it'll say positioned right next to the Call County public ground access hunting. And you know there's good hunting nearby. Guys, you have to go check out Hunt B&B as you're planning your next hunt to find you a place to stay. So, how's the rest of your season turned out since then?
Jake, you can give a little rundown of what you and Nick did over in Western.
Well,
Ohio.
obviously, we can go down the timeline. You know, Shea shot an awesome PA buck, had some crazy brow tines, and again, we had some history, and then it led into his next buck, which was the next one on the timeline.
I don't know if you happen to check that out on YouTube. That was the one that 150-inch Ohio buck that jumped off a cliff. Yeah. That was the caption of it. Man, crazy little ordeal there. But to keep it short, I literally just went into I've never been to that public land in my life. Sat 3 days in a row. That deer walked to me. Like I literally, I can't even make it. Like I can't even I found
can't even make it sound cool.
No, I can't. Like it's the truth, man. It's literally the truth. I just
that's cool, man.
Big rubs, big scrapes. I'll sit here, grinded it out for 3 days, and shoot, that was the first freaking buck I saw. So
you know what I've learned over the years too is there's people listening and they're like, "Yo, I wish I was lucky." To an extent, yeah. I mean, hunting takes a lot of luck for anybody. But here's what I've learned: those guys that and I've had those friends my whole life where it's like, dude, you went out twice this year and shot a 180. Yep. Like how? Yeah. Well, they just know when to go. Like they don't just go in just to be hunting. They pick the 3 best days. They know where to sit. Like you said, they're looking around. They're not just picking any old tree. They're looking around, rubs, scrapes, bedding areas, food, water, and they position themselves to kill deer. And it's like, they're not lucky. They just know it so well that it takes them less time. And so, man, that's awesome, dude. Like that is the story. Not like it was lucky. Like, no, I went in, I found where the deer are, and I grinded it out until I shot one. Like that. That's it, man.
That's the truth. Yeah, that's about as simple as you can put it. And that's the truth, man.
That's cool.
In the storyline for that video, the best part's the recovery. The best part's after. There's no story before because it's just, I went in blind. But shit, I didn't know you jumped off a 80-foot cliff into the water. Or I wish I could have seen that with my eyes how it happened. But you happen to be floating out in the strip mine drainage, and it was cool. It was cool how it went down. So I'm thankful for it. But shoot,
do the whole pack out and everything. Those are memories you don't ever forget with your friends.
Yeah. It was something I'll never forget, man. Like I said, it was one of those hunts where we were just like, I don't know what put that deer in front of me, but I'm thankful for it, man. Holy crap. Yeah. Like you still can't believe it. So
my brother-in-law had a deer one time jump off a cliff, cracked, like just smashed its whole face in. Like just
seriously.
Yeah.
It break any of the rack or anything?
No, it didn't break any of the rack, but just like the whole front of his face is just off. Like it looks like he did a really poor job of mount. Like he didn't need a European mount. And it looks like, you bowled it way too long and lost the whole front of your face. Like
the nose is off. Yeah.
Yeah. But I remember he was hours away from me when this happened, like 4 or 5 hours away. And so I wasn't going to help him. He's my brother-in-law, not my brother. I don't really like him that much. But he's like, dude, I don't know how to get it back up the cliff. Like there's no way to get it back up, and ended up having to wait hours for one of the neighboring farmers to get back. So he could, throw a chain down and literally just pick it up the cliff with a tractor. So yeah, really cool story, man. Those are the times you never forget.
I appreciate that, man. It's something I'll never, and it's like you said, I can't explain it. You know what I mean? It's hard to put it into words. Like you said, you tell it to some people, they're like, man, he just got lucky or whatever. I'm like, I know, I feel like that. It's hard to freaking put into words. I can't explain it. So.
I was gonna say, as long as it's all kind of what you say, if you want to have luck, and all that, just be out in the woods. The more times you're out there, that's the more chances you have at a deer.
That's what I always know.
You never know what you're going to see.
Through the cameras.
We've hunted our whole life.
Yeah.
You could read a million things. You learn a million things in the woods. But when you're out there, every scenario is different. You never know how it's going to unfold, and just got to be ready, and enjoy the ride, because it's
another and another little thing. That morning I was sitting there, it shot that deer at 10:30. I was texting Jake at 10 o'clock. All right. Cause I saw he got down. I'm like checking his location. I'm like, what are you up to? All right. I'm going to get down. I'm going to move. I like this spot, but I think I need to be higher on the ridge. I don't know. I feel like they're just going to cruise up there, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to give it 30. Close my phone, look up. The deer's walking at me. I'm like, come on.
And then I got a phone call and I was like, what's up? He's like, I just shot a buck. I'm like, what?
What?
I was like, you're getting down. Like, what?
Like, it's crazy, dude. It's cool though, man. Whitetails are too good.
Yeah. I've got a buddy, and same deal. He texted me. He's an idiot. I hope you're listening. We're both sitting. We leave church and like we both know we're going out. And so we're texting each other, and he says, dude, I just shot a monster. And I'm like, send me pictures. Like, are you serious? Yeah. And like 5 minutes go by and I keep checking my phone, and this guy sends me a picture of an arrow through a monster can. And I'm like, God, dude, I stinking hate you, bro. I stinking hate everything about you. And he's like, it gets him every year. And I'm like, dude, I hate you. And then literally he texted me like, the next day and was like, dude, I just shot a monster. And I'm like, shut up, you idiot. He's like, I'm serious. A mega giant. And I'm like, shut up, dude. I'm not even listening to you. And then he sent me a picture of a dead deer. And I'm like, I'm not coming to help you. Yeah, it's a great buck. Great buck.
That's funny though. It's like the boy who cried wolf. It's like, don't send me that crap. I'm not going to believe you by the time.
I'm not going to believe you ever again.
Yeah. That's funny, man.
So where'd you say, did you say you two are on a hunt right now?
Yeah. So I was in Kentucky the last week. I've been hunting a buck out there that I have 3 years of history with. And he's a tough deer. I only have like 3 to 4 acres that I could hunt. I call this deer Crack Jack because he lives behind a trailer
Crack house.
Yeah, this guy, the first time we met him, he doesn't own the property. The one farm that I have permission owns it, and it's a guy that they let stay there, but really nice guy and everything. They kind of gave me the heads up. He's been in and out of jail. Just stop.
Look at that thing, dude. Is that the buck you shot?
Yeah, I told him, I said, I didn't know you was Catholic. Dude, when did you turn Catholic? He said, what do you mean? I said, with all that mass, dude, you must have turned Catholic. Sorry.
That's a good one.
No, that's a beautiful deer, dude.
Yeah, it was a great deer. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good. So we call this deer Crack Jack, lives behind this like crack trailer. Guy's super nice, but he's been, in and out of jail for, drugs and whatnot. And the first time that we stopped there to introduce ourselves, to let him know we had permission from the owners, he came out in a hazmat suit.
Nice.
So you can only imagine what's happening. But
yeah,
regardless, there's a big old buck that lives there.
My buddy turned Catholic. He's Crystal Methodist.
Yeah. And Walter White in there somewhere.
Yeah.
So I've been there. I've been getting my butt kicked. He lives on the neighbor's property, who I researched. There's no house or anything. I drove an hour to door knock. It's a guy in his 90s. There was no way he was going to let me hunt. No one's allowed on the property, and that's where this deer's living. It's a sanctuary. So I've been waiting for this deer to come in. It's my first time really hunting over a bait pile. It's not really what I'm used to. Honestly, I'm not a huge fan so far. When the does come in, even though they're just acting super skittish, but I decided to pull out. Time to go home. Christmas is coming up. I got to do some Christmas shopping and whatnot. But Nick here, he's got this buck on his property that, he wanted to take out, and I'll let you talk about it. But I drove up here to film him, and it was
I also think Nick should talk a little bit about, and Jake, but talk about the deer. Jake shot a 175-inch deer this year. Nick and Nick together shot it. But I loved it. I love to hear you. I want you two to give that little backstory, especially Nick, like on when you found that deer.
Start your season. I
want you to tell him that, because that was a pretty crazy deal, dude. That was.
Yeah. Which, looking back on pictures, I think we might have had a little history with them, but anyways, got a velvet picture of just like a freak, just bunch of points. and he shed velvet. Didn't look as big. And I kind of put him on the back burner. Me and Jake were in Kentucky hunting. I was like, dude, this deer's showing up. It's been pretty consistent. He's like, dude, let's go hunt it. So what, 3 days, 3-day hunt, and got it done.
Well, to backtrack on that, this deer was showing up in velvet, and he was sending me pictures and just looked like an absolute slob. And, I kept telling Nick, I'm like, you need to hunt this deer. You need to hunt this deer. But there was a whole reason why he was not putting this deer, on his hit list. He's been after, I was going to say Griffey.
Yeah, there's a deer I think I've got 4 years with, and actually I shot him, I think as a 4-year-old with Jake. Hit him back. He lived. Hunt him the next year. Had him close. Year after, had him again. And then I said, this is my final season. I'm doing it one more time. And he's just like a late November deer. He comes through a couple weeks, late rut. And literally I didn't even hunt one time up until that. I never got a picture of him. So I wasted, half my season. So it's mid-December now, and I think I've sat twice, and today was the second time. So I bought a house in August, and it's a fixer-upper. So I've been working on that, just kind of slipping in hunts again. I'm just trying to get this done so that in the spring I can start my business and just go all in next year. But I'm kind of having to sacrifice some of the season, which stinks, but
I was going to say the deer.
Let's do this pick real quick. That is like Nick, like you said, you didn't he looks decent, but he doesn't look 175.
No,
but like Nick said, he's like, dude, like that's a mature deer. Like, let's kill him. Like, but it's crazy to think how big that deer went. I mean, the masses and the points are unreal.
Yes, I guess back to that story. Nick said we were in Kentucky hunting, and leading up to this point, I kept telling him, I'm like, you need to hunt this buck. You need to hunt this buck. Yeah, he has that deer right now.
So who killed that buck?
Jake. I have it in my house because Jake's not here right now.
Yeah, he was getting scored.
He tells everybody he shot that, just so you know.
Oh yeah, I told Jake today. I told him, I said, I'm just looking at your deer. That's all.
You tuck him in at night, no hard feelings.
Yeah.
But no, I kept telling Nick, through the season, I'm like, that deer's so cool. That deer's so cool. And, I didn't have that deer on my agenda. I had a couple really big bucks in Ohio that I was hunting. And a couple of them were, early season bucks I had in velvet, and they kind of slipped right out as soon as season started. And I had a couple other really big bucks that I was, just about to head out and start pursuing. And that's when, that deer was showing up, and, Nick was like, yeah, this deer's been here the last 3 days on this one piece of property. And, he's like, if you want to come hunt. And I was like, yeah, absolutely. I'm like, this is the deer we've been watching since summer. I'm like, it's a big old mature buck. Again, I didn't really think it was going to score that high. Looking at the picture like that, I figured it was like, a 140s deer, but, I was more into it for, knowing it's an older buck, having a hunt with Nick. It's just all around, I was like, this is going to be a good memory if we can kill this deer. And
I love how you said that so casually though, Jacob. Hey, it looked like a 140s. It ends up going 175. Like, are you?
Well, again, I didn't. It had a 15-inch spread. I had deer that had, just huge frames. Just deer that you would expect to score higher. And I always like to think that, I know deer score when I'm looking at a deer pretty well. And then you get deer like that kind of just totally catch you off guard. But yeah, it was crazy because after we shot it, we got it back to Nick's house. First thing we started doing was just putting a tape to it. And we were quizzing his mom. We're like, what do you think this deer scores? And we were kind of featuring about it the night before. We were scoring
7
bucks. Yeah. Well, they're getting 167. And I was like, Aunt Karen, I was like, I hope you're right.
I hope you're right, like, baby girl, but you ain't.
And I was like, she's like, well, what do you think? I'm like, I don't know. I was like, high 40s, now my hands are on this deer and I'm looking at it. I'm like, I don't really know. But he had 20 inches in just his brow tine, 25 inches in his brow tine.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah, it was out of pocket. Never expected it until that's my highest scoring deer to date. I've shot deer that look way bigger. You hold them up next to each other and you would point at the other deer, but deer score is just its own thing.
Crazy.
That reminds me of a story. My kids, they grow up, they grew up in the world of Pope and Young and are growing up in the world of Pope and Young. And I did a career day at their school. And so, I'm talking to all these students and I've got all these deer heads and I've got a compound and a recurve and I'm talking about the difference and, the advancements in technology and how things have changed over the years and, how we score animals and why we score animals and the importance of a scoring system and the piece it plays in conservation. And I'm going through all that stuff and all these kids are just like, this is stupid, and then I got to like the fun part. And so I'm like, does anybody know how many big game animals are in North America? And of course you're getting like 470 million. And I'm like, no. And you're getting 2 and you're getting, all these crazy answers. And then my 6-year-old says 29. And I'm like, yes. But like the whole place just stops and like looks at him like, how'd you know that? And I'm like, that's my son. Like, and then I started asking, I said, does anybody know what kind of deer we have around us here in Kansas? And, you get reindeer. And I'm like, no, we do not have reindeer. And you're getting all these crazy answers. And I said, and of course my son pops up whitetails. And I'm like, yes, we have whitetails. And, I'm like, there's 5 different species of whitetails in North America. Does anybody know them? And I had one kid in all the group that named a mule deer. And I'm like, yeah, that's another type of deer. But again, my son was like, mule deer, cow's deer, black-tailed deer, Sitka deer, white-tailed deer. And everybody's just like, what the heck? And I'm like, yeah, he's a redneck nerd. Like that's what he is.
That's
yeah,
funny,
man.
Dude.
That's cool.
That's cool.
I mean, you guys, I love that you're just out there doing it, man. And, man, if I could give you 3 any kind of advice, it's just keep doing it. Like just do it because you love it and keep grinding because it's obviously being noticed. I mean, when you have, I admire Steve-O and I admire his marketing mind. I admire, what he does there at Scentlock. And so even him, like just to say like, hey, you got to get these guys on. I'm like, all right, like let's do it. And so what you're doing is being noticed in the industry. And so keep going, keep doing what you're doing. And for those listening, like if you have aspirations to make a run at this, I'm not saying you want to film a TV show. I'm not saying you want to be a podcast host. I'm not saying, but if you just want to have a footprint in the industry, just start grinding. Like just do it, and you guys, I love your beginnings. I love where you're starting at. And because it's very similar to the way I started. I remember, my wife thinking like, why are you going out to do this? Like you're spending money to do this. Like you're paying these companies to shoot their stuff. And I'm like, yeah, but I love it. Like I just love this. Like I love what I'm doing. And so just get out there and grind, guys. If you're listening and you think, man, what can I do? Like, how can I do something cool? Just get out there and do it, man. You're never going to look back and think, I shouldn't have done that. Like now, respectfully, like I'm not saying, abandon your family and just, quit your job and go out and just try to do but get out there and work hard and do what you love and it'll be worth it.
Heck yeah, man. It's
what's next? What's next for Tree Cru?
I don't know, man. It's a freaking dream already starting to come true. So there's so much more lined up. I have another video we're going to try to drop next week. That would be Jake's kill from last year. It's almost done. And then we probably have 3 more videos I want to get out before January is over. So we got at least 5 to 6 videos for season 1 in the lineup here. And I know it's late. It sucks. It's like, I want to have these videos out in October. Like right after I killed in October, I wish I would have had that one out and all the other ones, but heck, it's just so hard to, sit down and edit when you want to just keep hunting. So, it's a team effort, man. And we'll pump those out here before January, hopefully. And then shoot after this, man, like I said, it's just going to be focusing on next year already. So there's a lot of big things. This is a growing year for us and it's cool it's crazy how like looking at YouTube the other day, I mean, shoot, it's crazy how far my mom was asking me, she's like, is that normal to get 30,000 views when you have 100 or 1,000 subscribers? I'm like, no,
it's not.
It's not.
No,
it's not. It's really not. I don't know what's doing it, but it's working. So we're going to go.
I can see your TV, dude. It's just playing on a loop back there. You don't have any views. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
All the views are from me.
I will chime in real quick. Shea's mom, she's an absolute angel, I'm going to say. She is so into the loop of what we're doing. Like, I'll show up to his house and she'd be like, "Hey, Jake, did G3 show up? Are you hunting soon?" And I'm like, "Okay." I was like, "Mrs. McTie,
what did you just say?
You know what the deer I'm hunting's nickname is?" My mom has no idea even what we're doing. She's like,
"My mom doesn't even know I hunt."
No, she's like, "Why are you always out in the woods hunting?" And I'm like,
"Yeah,
my mom." I'm like, "I've been doing this since like I could walk." I'm like, "Nothing's changed. Now we just have a camera. That's the only difference."
Right. That's cool, man. My dad, it's funny because my dad tries to brag on me, but my dad doesn't know even what a podcast is. So like he'll run into like somebody at Walmart and he'll like call me and be like, "Hey man, who is that? What's the name of that podcast you did with Chuck Adams?" And I'm like, "It's my podcast, Dad." And he's like, "Well, I ran into so-and-so at Walmart. Tell him about it." I'm like, "I'm not going to do that, Dad. Like, I don't want to do that." And because like he's trying to brag, but he don't even know what a podcast is. So,
it's like,
I mean, he's oblivious. But no, that is cool, man. That, there's just buy-in from the family and support from the family.
Again, man, thankful for it.
You guys going to try and do anything, bears, elk, mule deer? What's your next? What would be your next? Like, if you could say tomorrow, I want to go on this hunt, what would it be?
You go first, Jake. You and Nick.
Well, I actually just brought this up to one of our marketing guys. I'm really into antlers and stuff. I've always wanted to do a mule deer hunt. I've never been out west for any of that, but I also have like a little bit of. I've been wanting to do a mountain lion hunt or like a wolf hunt, something a little bit
That'd be
more
cool.
like adrenaline based. Where
I know a guy.
You know a guy?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, I'll get you in touch with him for real. Like that's never piqued my interest. It will one day, but like right now, I just never. But I do know a guy. I'll get you in touch with him.
That would be awesome. I kind of fell in love. Nick and I grew up shark fishing off the beach. We would be wrangling these sharks. Going in the water, grabbing them with our hands by the tail. After we reeled them in, and taking them back out, releasing them, and just the adrenaline from that. And then
didn't you say you grew up in Ohio? Those aren't sharks. Those are catfish.
Same thing.
Yeah. Where did you do that at?
Florida.
Oh, okay. That's cool, man.
We would take a trip every year. That was one of our times growing up where we could see each other before we had our driver's license and stuff like that.
That's cool. I've only seen one shark in person, and we was in Destin, I think, and like my kids are on the back deck of the whatever you call it, the resort in the back deck, and they see this big commotion down on the beach, and there's all these lights around it and the edge of the water, and I'm like, "Guys, they caught a fish. Like it's it's fine, whatever." But then like an hour later, they're still all around it, and so I'm like, my kid's like, "Go down there and see what it is, Dad." And I'm like, so I run down there, and it was a shark, and so I took a video and showed it to the kids, and it was one of the coolest things I've ever seen. I'm like, "You guys do know that thing will bite you, right?" Like,
big ass shark too, like a big one.
Should we? Yeah, like a 9-foot tiger shark.
Holy shit!
You want to hear a little story?
That's cool. That's cool, dude.
Yeah.
So Nick and I, So Nick and I got pretty into shark fishing. We thought we were pretty cool for catching like these little 4 or 5 footers, 4 footers, and then we really invested in some heavier gear. And we went out one night, casted all these lines out. We didn't really know much about the tide, and it was coming in towards us and to the side. So next thing you know, all of our lines were tangled up, and we ended up just grabbing one and chucking it out like 20 yards, just to get it back in the water so we could untangle these other lines. And all of a sudden, we just hear zzz. So we grab this pole. We're looking at each other like, "Oh my God, we got a shark." It's middle of the night, and we're reeling and reeling. It was probably like 20, it felt like forever, but it was probably like 20 minutes of reeling. And we get this shark up on shore, we grab it and everything. And, again, we were not prepared. We never caught something this big, and we had to get this hook out of its mouth. It was probably 6-7 foot blacktip. And so I have Nick hold its mouth open, and I stick my hand in its mouth, and grab this hook and, you know, again, just been watching YouTube videos. So we kind of had an idea what we're doing, and I grab its tail and we have a spotlight. So Nick's shining it on me and I'm dragging the shark back in the water, and, you know, water's getting up to my waist, and I'm going to turn the shark around and kind of bring it back to life, get some water through its gills. And as I'm like just about to turn around, the spotlight dies. So now I'm holding the shark in the water, no lights. And I'm like, Nick, I'm like, get a light. And here comes Nick running in the water with his phone light.
Trips.
Thankfully,
this is redneck Baywatch, dude.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, we got the shark, back out in the water.
Okay.
And we went back and told our family, and everyone was still up playing games and whatnot. And we're
That's
like, yeah, we just got the shark. And they're like, no, you didn't. And we're like, no, we did. And they're like, yeah, I don't know if you did. So,
they didn't know we could believe you.
They still don't believe it.
Yeah.
Dang, dude.
Back to what you were saying, real quick, just to say this, because this has been on my mind ever since then. I went out 2 years ago, or it would have been last year, actually. I went out and filmed Randy and Nate. Speaking of Nate again, they asked me to come out on a Montana trip with them. And I'm like, like from PA, I've never experienced like any Western whitetail hunting. So I'm like, yeah, what the heck? Like, yeah, I'd love to take a shot, come out and film them. Little did I know how many freaking whitetails come out to that alfalfa early season in Montana on those river bottoms. I was mind blown. I was like, we filmed, there was probably 85 deer in the field the one night. There was a 160-inch deer there. He never made his way in. Randy ended up shooting a great, beautiful velvet buck I got on film for him. Ended up turning into a great episode. Regardless, now I'm like set, like Montana. I want to kill like a Western whitetail down in one of those like river bottoms.
Yeah.
Dude, that would be so cool, man. Catch them coming out to a food source from high up, get in them on them, find them, find where they're bedding, get in on them in the evening, try to make a good shot on one. Man, that stuff it got me going. So like, I'm really looking forward to try to go do like a Western whitetail hunt soon. Like whether it's Wyoming, Montana. I know it's rare. You don't find a lot of guys like shooting like Western whitetails in Montana, but like, man, it's a cool way to hunt out there. It's different. It's just something different. So I'd love to get into that. I know it's not elk. I love to get into mule deer, but shoot, I love whitetails. So it's like, just throw like a different attack at them. And it would be cool to just try to learn it. You know what I mean? It'd be a cool deal.
Now, I will say, like, and I've never hunted turkeys out west, but I could get behind that. Like, but to go out, like, different. Because, and they always say turkey hunting is the poor man's elk hunt. Like, I could get behind chasing them in the mountains. Like, that would be cool. But again, like, if I'm going
or something in Colorado,
dude. But again, if I'm going to the mountains in spring, why would I not shoot bears? Like, that's, I just go back to it. I don't know. I digress.
Well, you got me hooked on bear. We've been talking about bear hunting. I got to shoot me. We got to go bear hunting sometime, man. That sounds badass. I've never shot
a bear before.
You got bears where you live.
I know we never shot one.
We've had bears all around us outside of bear season, but bear season, it's like they're the ghosts. It's hard to find them.
You know what really sucks is I grew up in Arkansas where there is bear hunting. You're not going to kill mega giant bears, and there's really not a ton of them, but there is bear hunting. And I never got bit with the bug until I was watching Clay Newcomb where he shot that bear in public land, Arkansas. And I'm like, wait a minute. Like, it never dawned on me. I'm like, you could bear hunt when I grew up. Like, I never thought about that. And that's when I became a fangirl of Clay. Cause I'm like, I didn't even know he's from where I live. Like, I grew up like 10 minutes from him. Never knew that. The one time, like, I met Steve Ranella at a show, and my buddy introduced me. He's like, hey, this is my friend Dylan. Like, and I just walk up. I'm like, dude, is it true that you know Clay Newcomb? And he's like, yeah, I've met him a time or two. I'm like, that's so cool, man. And just walk off.
Yeah, Steve.
Like, I can't believe I just shook somebody's hand who's shaking Clay's hand. Like, that's epic, bro. No. And so that was when I was like, I need to go on a bear hunt. And, then I did. And I'm like, dude, I could have been doing this my whole life. And I never did. Like, I could have been chasing these my whole life. So I blame my dad, honestly. Like, why didn't you ever take me bear hunting, dude? Anyways, Jake, what if you could go on any hunt tomorrow, what would it be?
Nick.
Yeah.
Nick.
Yeah. probably spot and stock mule deer. Yeah.
Yeah. You look like a mule deer hunter.
Yeah.
I'll take that. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's hard for me to get away from the deer. I mean, I think bear would be cool. Elk would be cool. But yeah, probably. Yeah.
All right. Let me change the question up a bit for each one of you. Because my answer changes. Like the way that I phrase this, my answer changes. If I was going to send you on one hunt tomorrow, tags are no issue, money's no issue, you can hunt anything you wanted to hunt, what would it be?
Grizzly bear.
Okay.
Like Kodiak Island with a bow.
Yeah. Oh.
That is pretty bad.
Yeah. Salmon.
Now that's
salmon are running and you're hunting right on the water.
oh.
Uh-huh.
Ooh. I don't want to be a redneck nerd, but that would be a brown bear, not a grizzly bear. Just so you know.
So the grizzlies, are those the inland bears?
There's genetically nothing different about bears, but brown bears live on the coast, so they can eat salmon. They get bigger. Like there's there's literally a geographical line drawn.
Yeah.
That if you're above this, you're a grizzly.
Okay. So
That's cool.
the coast bears, the brown bears, and
Yes.
bears are grizzlies.
Yeah. And I've
Okay.
often wondered that, like, what if you're hunting on the line? Like, how do
How do you?
this bear was just feeding on salmon, now it becomes a grizzly, and you just shot a world record grizzly. Like, I don't know how that works, but there's literally a geographical line drawn. This exact same animal.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
from what I've heard, the ones that are on the coast are, obviously bigger because they're eating a lot of fish and stuff like that. I didn't know they were they had different names. But that's kind of interesting. It's good to know.
Yeah, that would be my number one. It's just too expensive. So that's why it would be, if you were to say one hunt, I'm paying for everything, it'd be that. Or like a stone sheep. I mean, something that
I was
it's
just
going
gonna
to cost you.
I was just gonna say that, like a stone sheep, if like the money wasn't an issue and the tags weren't an issue, dude, like snow, any sheep, man, bighorn sheep up in the mountains, backcountry, packing. Man, that's probably, I mean, just watching so many videos as a kid, it's almost like not realistic, I feel like. But like if I had that opportunity, exactly. If I had that opportunity, that's it right there. That sheep hunt in the backcountry, man, that's crazy.
And the only reason that I say stone, like, I mean, you're right. You send me on any sheep hunt, I'm going to be ecstatic. But so Pope and Young does what we call panel. So it's every 2 years, the biggest animal from each species, the biggest 5 from each species comes and gets a panel verified. And so I'm sitting there and I walk in the room and I'm like, dude, there's this majestic stone full body sheep like up on the wall that they're about to, and I'm like, oh my Lord. Like it was just the prettiest animal I've ever seen in my lifetime. Like, and I'm like, dude, that is so gorgeous. And I'm like, who's the hunter? And they're like, Remy Warren. And I'm like, oh my gosh, dude. Like it was just epically gorgeous. And so now it's like, dude, if I could ever go on a sheep hunt, it's stone sheep just because of that one sheep. Like it was just beautiful.
Dude, sheep are so pretty, dude. I love that. I love that animal. Such a cool animal, man.
Yeah. But they're stupid expensive, man. Like it's just, it's outrageous.
And it's hard to get to them.
Yeah.
I'd like to say my, biggest dream would to be complete, the North American challenge, with all the big game species and all that. But then you think about it and it's like, you got all the sheep, obviously you got the moose, the bears, and that even ties into the polar bear,
and it takes a whitetail time.
There's a guy by us that completed it, and his story for the polar bear, I mean, the price that he paid was ungodly expensive. But on top of that, like his story of like, jets or hopping on a snowmobile for like 10 hours, going through like the snow, getting out there, and he shot it with his bow. This bear's coming in because polar bears, they're not scared. They're hunting you. They look at you as food. They're coming. The bear's coming at him. He's trying to get his release on, but it's frozen shut. So he pulled his compound back with his fingers, shot this bear, chased it into a cave. And I mean, it's just the craziest thing I've ever heard. But, how much money it takes to complete that nowadays compared to what it was, even 25 years ago, it's just so different. I don't think it would ever be possible. I mean, trust me, if I won the lottery, there'd be some hints. You'd look at my tax bill and be like, oh yeah, I won the lottery.
Well, that's what blows my mind, dude, about sheep hunters is like Wild Sheep Foundation is the craziest show there is because there's so much money there. And like you go to those award ceremonies and they give out the FNAS award, which is killing all the sheep. And they'll be like, and so on his 14th round. And I'm like, wait, what? Like how? Like, dude, I would have to sell my home, get rid of a kidney, and get rid of a child to afford to go on one sheep hunt. And you're telling me you've done all of them for the 14th time? Like, how is that even possible, dude?
Where are you putting all these things?
Yeah, what do you do for a living?
A feel for amount.
That's a good
like,
point.
God, dude. How long you been selling feet pics? You know, like that's what I'm wondering.
Yeah, right? What the hell?
Yeah. So
Nick,
what is it?
I'm curious what Nick's is too.
I was gonna say sheep, but think of something else, maybe caribou.
Oh yeah.
Dude. Yes.
Yes.
The great creation with all the caribou running and all that.
Dude,
oh yeah.
That stuff is so cool to me.
Yeah.
That's a good answer for sure.
Oh, heck yeah, man. I love seeing those videos, those guys shooting those caribou. Oh, that's badass to me, man. Getting in close.
One of you should have said, oh, dude, like just to get me real going. Oh, dude, stinking a turkey, dude, just dragging a rope across the ground, dude. Oh my gosh.
I thought about saying it. I really did.
For Rio.
I'd have just hung up, dude. Beep.
Man, let's go shoot a Rio.
Yeah. Gentlemen, where can they find Tree Cru at if they want to come check out all your awesome content?
Tree Cru TV, man, everywhere. Tree Cru TV, YouTube, Tree Cru TV, Instagram. We're gonna get the Facebook.
CRU, not CREU.
Correct.
EW. I don't do English good.
Tree Cru, CRU. Correct.
As you can tell, we don't either. We misspelled it.
Yeah, they didn't mean to do that.
That was an accident.
Hopefully, very soon our website will be up. We'll have all of our links and everything on it. We're actually working on some merch. We've in the past made some hoodies a few years ago, and it was kind of a big hit. So we figured, why not put it on the website?
Yep.
Very cool, guys. Go check them out. When's your next video dropping?
Next week, man, for sure. Next week. So I don't have a date for it yet, but I'm going to say probably I'm going to try to drop by Monday. If I don't drop by Monday, Wednesday at the latest. So next week, man, for sure.
And this is Jake's, the one that you have behind you, correct?
No,
the one from last year.
Correct.
Yes.
Jake's last year. He shot it on a golf course. So it's a badass video, man. It's a golf course hunt. Jake got the permission, killed a 160-inch deer literally on this golf course. And it is a really cool story. So we're looking forward to putting that one out. So it's pretty cool.
My biggest Pennsylvania buck to date.
Heck yeah, man. About 5 minutes from the city of Pittsburgh, too. So it's pretty cool.
What green was it on?
I was at seven, Jake, not 5. He killed the turkey. He killed a turkey on 5, but 7 is where he killed the buck.
I killed a banded turkey with my bow on hole 5.
Nice.
Which is kind of crazy.
The guys that was trying to putt was mad, dog.
Oh, dude. When you see this video, me and Jake are in the stand at one point, and we're like, all right, deer coming in. Oh, wait, here comes a golfer. And we just cut the music, and this golfer just comes marching down. And me and Jake are in the stand. He goes walking right under us and hits the ball right under us. I'm like filming.
Did he know you was there?
No clue. Never looked up.
Oh, dude, you should have scared the mess out of that guy.
Oh, dude, we caught him cheating. He moved his ball.
He fluffed his lie a little bit, picked that ball up,
dude.
Hit another one. I'm like, get out of here.
Oh, you should have had so much fun with that, dude.
I know.
Like, this is God. I saw that.
The things you see from a tree on a golf course. I mean, I'm not a golfer. These boys are, but like, I had a heck of a time. You weren't seeing deer the whole time, but watching the golfers was a good time.
I can't wait
play
for
golf
that video
disc.
to be out. Oh man. Oh yeah.
I play golf disc.
Oh
no,
yeah.
golf disc when you chunk your 9-iron in the woods.
Oh, I've been there more than once. You've been there more than once.
You better be careful. You might hit one of these guys out of a tree.
Yeah, might hit one of us and sit in the tree. Yeah, man, that's funny. But yeah, definitely look out for that video, man. It's going to be an entertaining one. It's different twist to it, different than the 2 videos we have out now. So that'll be out next week. So
very cool. Guys, go check out Tree Cru. They are representing Scentlock in an awesome way, producing awesome content. So go check them out, watch all their stuff, engage with them on social media, follow them, like them, and just support those who support you. That's what I'm passionate about. Support people in the industry who are trying to make it. That's why I love talking with guys who are, out there grinding and just trying to make a run at it. So go support them. Let's help them make dreams come true and show them the support they deserve, because they are putting out incredible content. Who doesn't love a good gun? Who doesn't love a good gun shop? Just walk in, get up on the countertop stool, and share stories with the boys. Talk guns, talk calibers, talk recent hunts. It's a good time. Gun shops are a great place to go and hang out. However, there's a couple gun shops that do it better than others. And then there's one gun shop that really stands out. Powder and String Outfitters. Yeah, I'm a little biased because it's right here in the great town of Wellington, Kansas, right here in my hometown. However, I can tell you that anybody that walks into Powder and String is basically blown away, because Powder and String Outfitters takes you back to a time where, downtown shops were experts in their trade, where a man's word was his bond. They got a creaky floor, they got rustic decor, and they've got a massive selection of guns and ammos. They're a full service gun shop. They've got an in-house hot bluing facility. They've got a full machine shop. They've got a custom legendary gun engraver. Literally, when I say legendary, Mr. Brian Strange, their hand engraver is world class. They've got the engraver. They've got gunsmiths. They have everything that you could ever possibly dream of having in a gun shop. They're also a small town, hometown, family-owned shop where you can call and talk to the owner. Guys, they've taken that same feel, that same great gun shop feel, and made it available online. powderandstring.com. You can buy all your guns, all your ammo, all your shooting accessories right there online in the convenience of your own home. You can stand behind the people that you're supporting because the guys are phenomenal. And again, I am of the opinion that if I'm going to shop for guns and ammo, I don't want to do it at a big box store. I want to support somebody like the Powder and String staff. So guys, go check them out for all your guns, all your ammo, all your shooting accessories. They've got it. They are knowledgeable. You can call them. You can talk to somebody, figure out what you need, why you need it, how you need it. They'll take care of you. I actually just bought a new shotgun there. Bought a new A300, and the first shot out of that gun was a dead bird. That's what I'm talking about. And I got it based off their recommendation. Guys, they're phenomenal people. Somebody you can be proud of supporting. Go check them out, powderandstring.com. Guys, thank you for listening. Have a fantastic week and keep the dusty side up.
Thank you, Dylan.
Thank you.